Hi, I am Berdhanya, your teacher in this class about existence. I want to talk to you about the question, or reflecting in the question on, do you exist? Do you exist? And notice where your mind takes you, what it will be the answer to that inquiry. Okay, yes, I exist for a period of time in this body, and I have a sense of life, a sense of me being alive in relationship to certain energy force. So when that energy force is strong, usually in our youth and in our early years, and is declined, you feel, oh, I am dying, and my sense of existence start to be less. And it's true, there is an impermanency in your physical body. It's an impermanence in three things. One is in your mind. As much as you're thinking now, and you say, when my mind is going to stop, it's going to stop. At one point, you will start thinking less, or you will start thinking in a more distorted way, not as sharp as when you are younger, right? When you have that old age. Also, your physical body will decay, and your emotions related to your process of thinking also will be different. So there is an impermanence. However, in the greater picture, there's something that it never changes, and is one law that applies to everything, because energy in principle do not die. It simply transforms in something else. And that process of transformation, that movement of energy through any form, is the law of the universe. I constantly exist. And in here, observe the two statements, or the two parts of this sentence. I exist. I doesn't refer to the I that is impermanent. It doesn't refer to your personality. It doesn't refer to what you call your life, your concrete life. I refers to that unmodified energy that is constantly moving, either in big stretches of time or in small cycles of time. So when I'm referring here to this law, I exist, the permanency of that I is something that you need to learn to relate to. What and who is that I? What it does? How do I relate to that? So that simply inquire to know more about that I, help you to transcend the definition of the I that you have in the moment. And I say in the moment because that relationship, like any other relationship, changes. So when you say I exist, today I will have a different relationship, a different feeling, a different attunement, a different harmonization. I exist. And the existence is that, I invite you to think about that as that everlasting movement of energy. If you understand the physics now, that is, say, how the particles, the photons, are interacting constantly and organizing constantly, and they are entangled with each other, creating form, creating intelligence, and creating a body of a very powerful energy that is across the universe in all forms. So it comes into form and it descends back into the non-form. But this movement it never changes. It never, change in itself, but it never disappears. So I exist is something that is inclusive. You are putting yourself inside this tapestry of particles and interaction that make life. So it is something that is inevitable, and in the moment that we give up that sense of I exist here now and this is what defines me, my relationships or my bank account or my health, that it will go away. And if you are attached to that, you will feel always a sense of apprehension and tension. You want to keep that as your sense of identity. You want to maintain it. You start grasping that feeling that if I don't have that, I won't exist. So that sense of survival, it will ease totally, I promise you on that, because then you see your life from a very different perspective. You go a very much deeper and say, okay, I am here for a time being. I am in the impermanence world, but that impermanence is enveloped by something that is everlasting. So the impermanence is here and is rotated and is within also in the great existence, in that ocean of consciousness and that ocean of pure awareness. And that's what you are. So part of the inner realization is to ground yourself in that truth, in that reaffirmation, where you say very much in experiential way, you say, I exist always. Always I have been existing. So try to relate to that and see what had happened 10 years ago. Inside, yes, you have changed perhaps perspective about relationships, about your skills, etc. But inside there's something that is not changing, something that is continuously being supporting the impermanence. So when you have both, like this, you are in perfect balance. You are not fighting anymore to go more towards, okay, I need to survive, I need to exist, I need to work more, I need to act more, I need to know more in order to exist. And you either go into, oh, well, I exist forever, so it doesn't matter what I do here. No, both are important and both are in constant feedback to give you a sense of balance, a sense of I am in the impermanence, exploring, knowing things about myself that perhaps I will not know if I am not in the form. And I am never had departure, the great ocean of consciousness, that aliveness that is in everything, beyond the form and in the form at the same time. So I exist, I exist, I exist. As a homework, I invite you to open the inquiry to your stillness. When you go into the meditation, it's not that you are reaffirming, it's not an affirmation, it's a relation. You relate to the I that is eternal, and you relate to that existence, that life that is as well eternal. I exist.